Good morning. Topic for today devotion is stay humble too. For all those things hath my hands made, and all those things have been, saith the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. Isaiah 66 verse 2. Bible reading 1 Kings 21:15 to 29. Bible in 1 year, Acts 4 to 5. Message. After I became born again, I started hearing God speak to me, and I stopped doing anything without his guidance or approval. In those days, I would ask him which route to drive through so I would not get caught in traffic jam, and he will guide me. However, something happened that made him stop speaking to me for a while. I was an interpreter in the church, and General Superintendent took a special interest in me and made me his personal interpreter. When the other pastors in the church realized that he had chosen me to be his interpreter, they stopped asking me to interpret for them out of respect for him. One day we had a program, and a pastor told me that I would be interpreting for him during his sermon. I became angry, but I didn't object because the Bible teaches us that we should always honor and obey those whom God has placed over us. Romans 13:1-2. I interpreted during his sermon, but in my heart I murmured, how can you call me, the interpreter of the general superintendent, to interpret for you? At the end of the program, as I walked towards my car, God told me, son, so you are now too big to interpret for my servant. That was all he said, and I didn't hear his voice again. The period that followed was like hell because he stopped speaking to me. I was constantly stuck in heavy traffic as his voice wasn't guiding me anymore. I pleaded with him and promised never to allow pride to creep into my heart. Thankfully, he started speaking to me again. Pride will make a Christian vulnerable to all arrows from the devil. However, when a Christian stay humble, God will be his or her defense. God will always fight for the humble people because they have acknowledged through their humility that they cannot fight for themselves. In today's Bible reading, Ahab did a terrible thing before God, and God sent Elijah to pass judgment on him for his wickedness. When he heard God's word, Ahab humbled himself before God, who had sworn to destroy him. When God saw that he had humbled himself, he sent Elijah to tell him that he would not bring evil in his days. 1 Kings 21:27-29. God postponed Ahab's judgment because of his humility. Beloved, do you leave yourself vulnerable to devil attack? Humble yourself before God, and he will cause you to always walk in victory. Key points: God rejects the proud but give grace to the humble.